Welcome back to our continuing coverage of the 2017 Dixie Youth Baseball AAA World Series. This is an elimination game between the state champions of Alabama, Hueytown, Alabama, and the host team, Oxford, Alabama. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mike Rideout for JockJive.com. Let's hope that we get some games in. We got our completion of the first game in as it was a good one. Mississippi comes back to beat Texas. They scored 2 in the bottom of the 6th and scored a run in the bottom of the 7th to eliminate Texas 6-5 in 7 innings. Also, Louisiana eliminated Virginia 9-5. So the loser of this one will also be eliminated. And let's give you the starting lineups for both teams. First for the visitors from Hueytown, Alabama. Their manager, Kevin Hudgens. He is assisted by Kevin Black and Nate Vaughn. Leading off will be the left fielder, number 14, Jonah Winston. Batting second in center field, number 20, Jay Fuller. Batting third, the catcher, number 12, Caleb Johnson. The cleanup hitter, number 17, Baker Davis. Batting fifth at shortstop, number 52, Ethan Booker. Batting sixth and pitching, number 4, Gavin Franklin. Batting seventh in right field, number 2, Brody Black. Batting eighth at first base, number 2, Max Hollingsworth. Batting ninth, number 8, Devin Ford. Batting 10th, the second baseman, number 11, Colton Hudgens. Batting 11th, the third baseman, number 44, Sam Vaughn. And batting 12th, number 36, Ethan England. For the home team, Oxford, Alabama, their manager, Marcus Wood, assisted by Nick Ray and Doug King. Leading off will be the center fielder, number 10, Jacob King. Batting second, the catcher, number 4, Paul Lobb. Batting third at second base, number 3, Jaden Dobbins. Batting fourth, the shortstop, number 13, Branson Whiteside. Batting fifth, number 24, Braxton Branham. Batting sixth at third base, number 22, Caleb Jenkins. Batting seventh in left field, number 23, Marcus Wood Jr. Batting eighth at first base, number 2, Austin Ray. Batting ninth, the pitcher, number 11, Connor Heaton. Batting 10th in right field, number 1, T.J. Wilson. Batting 11th, number 42, Desmond Whitson. And batting 12th, number 27, Jacob Ingram. So there's your starters for both teams. We'll play 6 innings to determine who stays alive here in the Dixie Youth Baseball AAA World Series. Your umpires for today's game. At first base, Paul Taylor out of Edgefield, South Carolina. At second base, Eric McCullum out of Taylorsville, Mississippi. And at third base, Danner Thompson of Conway, South Carolina. Calling the balls and strikes will be Henry Hill. He is out of Albany, Georgia. So we are ready to... we are waiting on umpires. And then we'll get started here. The umpires are here, and they're making their way off to my right over to the field. So, looked like the umpire did a circling motion as if to say, go ahead and play ball. The umpires are making their way on the field. So we're ready to get going here. Glad to have you aboard wherever you may be. Folks, you can participate during the broadcast by sending in your shout-outs and best wishes via text message. The number for this game is area code 352-258-8450. That's 352-258-8450. Our first shout-out of the game. This one says, Clara, Mississippi, number 32. Well, that's for the previous game. That game is already over. So I had someone else send me a shout-out for that game as well. And they turned it on thinking the game was live, but that game has already been completed. And now we're ready for our next game. So if you want to send a shout-out, send it via text message. The number again for this game, area code 352-258-8450. That's the shout-out number for the Hueytown, Alabama versus Oxford, Alabama game here on JockJive.com. Taking a look at the current schedule, the games for tomorrow are still up in the air, as we are waiting until games have been completed today, and then they will determine game times tomorrow. Actually, I just heard that the games will be at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So game times at 10 a.m. Game times at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So the 3:30 games, actually, the games were originally scheduled for 5:45 and 8 p.m., so they'll be played at 10 a.m., and then right after the 10 a.m. game, they'll play the next game So right around the 12:30 time around there for tomorrow. So 10 a.m. start time on Tuesday. We're just about ready to get going as we wait on the defense to take their positions, and then we'll set the defense for Oxford, Alabama. And here come the Oxford, Alabama players, and we're about to get going. All right, let's set the defense for Oxford, Alabama. Defensively, Connor Heaton will be on the mound. He is a right-hander. Paul Lobb, we're still waiting on our catcher. He'll be behind the plate. Here he comes. Around the horn defensively at third base, Caleb Jenkins. The shortstop is Branson Whiteside. The second baseman, Jaden Dobbins. And the first baseman is Austin Ray. In the outfield, left to right, Marcus Wood Jr., Jacob King, and T.J. Wilson. So just about to get started. And our first shout-out says, go Jay Fuller, number 20, Hueytown, Alabama. Folks, again, make sure when you send the shout-out that you let us know who you are. All of our broadcasts are archived. So when the players go back and watch the game and hear the shout-out, they'll also know who sent the shout-out to them. And then, of course, we always like to know where you guys are at watching the game. So who's it to, who's it from, and where are you guys watching the game? Send your shout-outs via text message to 352-258-8450. 352-258-8450. Jonah Winston set to lead things off for Hueytown, Alabama. Jonah is the younger brother of former Florida State quarterback and current Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback Jameis Winston. And in fact, they've got some athleticism in the blood of several of these players on the team. I understand that Baker Davis's uncle plays for the Yankees. Devin Ford's uncle plays, Joe Webb plays quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. And then also I had gotten a shout out on day one to let me know about another former major leaguer who was a coach at Alabama. Jeremy Brown, the former Oakland A's catcher, coached the 9-year-olds on the Alabama team. Jonah Winston, Baker Davis, and Sam Vaughn. So some pretty good talent there in Hueytown, Alabama. The first pitch of the ball game is taken for ball one, and we are underway. We'll get to another shout-out after this next pitch. The right-hander Heaton to the right-hander Winston, fouled back, and the count evens at 1-1. Our next shout-out, good luck, Hueytown. Let's go, Jay Fuller from Danielle. Thank you, Danielle. That's how it's done, folks. If you want to send a shout-out, send it via text message. Area code 352-258-8450. Jonah Winston at the plate with a 1-1 count. The next pitch from Connor Heaton is on the way, and it's in the dirt for ball two, and the count 2-1. Hueytown, Alabama with the red tops, white lettering and numerals, the white pants with the red trim, and the red and white socks. This one hit on the ground to second, but right to Dobbins, and he will make the play on to first for the first out of the ball game. Oxford in the all-white uniforms, but they do have some gold mixed in there.
Now batting, number 20, Jay Fuller.
Jay Fuller will bat with one out, and the base is empty. Starting center fielder. Waiting on our on-deck hitter, Caleb Johnson. He'll take his spot in the on-deck circle over on the first base side. And the one-out pitch from Connor Heaton. That one's up high for a ball, 1-0. So again, with anticipation of what I've heard may be the worst day for the weather tomorrow. Game times tomorrow beginning at 10 a.m. We'll try to get ahead of the weather as the next pitch is in there for a strike, and the count evens at 1-1. Jason Thompson handling the play-by-play over on field 2. A winner's bracket game between Tennessee and Georgia. We'll keep you updated on that one. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Actually, I don't know if it was got a piece of it or if it just went under the glove of the catcher. But that is strike 2, and the count now 1-2. Also coming up in the winner's bracket games, 2 more games to go on each field, or 1 on each field. Arkansas, South Carolina coming up after this one, and North Carolina, Florida will play over on field 2 as the next pitch misses for a ball, and the count evens at 2-2. We'll be eliminating 3 teams today. We've already eliminated 2, Virginia and Texas, and again, the loser of this one will also be eliminated. The 2-2 pitch, that's outside for a ball, and the count is now full. Back to your shout-outs at 352-258-8450. Good luck, Hueytown. Shout out to Jay Fuller from Amani. The 3-2 pitch. That one's in the dirt for ball 4, a 1-out base runner for Alabama. That will send up Caleb Johnson, the catcher. So 1 out, 1 on as Johnson approaches the plate. Top of the first, no score. Just underway. Game scheduled for 6. The pitch from Heaton. That is low for a ball. Runner's going to second. The throw to second gets into center field. That'll be a stolen base and then an error. The throw to third, not in time. So Fuller at third with 1 out. That will send up, or Caleb Johnson rather, still at the plate with a 1-0 count. That wind has kind of shifted directions a little bit. It was blowing left to right. Now it's kind of moved around and blowing out. Next pitch misses for ball 2, and the count 2-0. The dimensions here at the ballpark, 225 from left to right, all the way around, 225 feet. Current weather conditions here in Oxford, 85 degrees and partly cloudy. The next pitch in the dirt, and the catcher did a good job of keeping it in front of him. Paul Lobb will keep that runner at third base, but the count moves to 3-0 on Caleb Johnson. Jay Fuller at third base with 1 out in the top of the first for Hueytown, Alabama, looking to stay alive. Both teams hoping to win and play another day. The 3-0 pitch. That one misses outside for ball 4. So back-to-back walks given up by Heaton. And that puts runners on the corners for Baker Davis. By the way, the pitching rules for this game and for the AAA tournament, as the pitch is high, the runner's going to go to second. They won't throw it down there with that runner at third. So both runners in scoring position. But for the pitching rules, you can throw between 0 and 40 pitches and come back without any rest. If you throw between 41 and 65 pitches, you need 36 hours rest. 66 plus, you need 48 hours rest. The most you can throw is 75 in a day. Now, here's something to keep in mind. If we do have a weather delay at any point during the tournament, you have to come back and play the next day, those pitching numbers carry over. So if you throw 25 pitches, for example, today, and the game gets pushed back to tomorrow, you'll start the next day with 25 pitches. That's what happened earlier today, as this pitch is on the inside part of the plate for a called strike. And the count now 2-1 to Davis. 1 out. Alabama with both runners in scoring position. And the next pitch from Connor Heaton. Baker Davis will take that one outside for ball 3. On deck, Ethan Bucher, the shortstop. Back to your shout-outs at 352-258-8450. This one says, "Let's go Hueytown," from Walter Lynch. Thank you, Walter. The 3-1 pitch. Inside, ball 4. So the bases are loaded, and the infield also playing in. That's 3 consecutive walks to load them up. That sends up Ethan Bucher. Number 52. Another shout out. This is to Jay Fuller from cousin Leah. Bring it home. Thank you for that. The 1-out pitch to the number 5 hitter in the order. Right there for strike 1. Well, Heaton needed that after walking 3 in a row. Give himself a little bit of confidence. 1 out. And it was the first out of the game. Jonah Winston grounded out to second, but since then, Fuller, Johnson, and Davis have all walked. Ethan Bucher at the plate, the 0-1 pitch. That one's low and inside. That will even the count at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Hueytown, Alabama looking to take the first lead of the game in the top of the first inning. The 1-1 pitch from Heaton. And the dirt for a ball. The ball almost got away, but Lobb kept it in front of him, and the count now 2-1. Louisiana and Mississippi winning earlier today to keep their hopes alive, trying to fight their way through the losers bracket. Both these Alabama teams trying to do the same thing. The 2-1 pitch. That's low, ball 3. Well, there's no room for Ethan Bucher. The bases are loaded with 1 out. Ethan ahead in the count, 3-1. Gavin Franklin, the pitcher, is on deck. The 3-1 pitch. Swung on and hit into right center field. Base hit. That's going to get at least 1 home. Here comes run number 2. The throw will go to second, and Hueytown, Alabama strikes first. They take a 2-0 lead. Ethan Bucher drives in 2 as Jay Fuller and Caleb Johnson score on the play.
Now batting number 4, Gavin Franklin.
Baker Davis goes to third. Runners on the corners. Timeout call by Oxford. And that's going to be it for Connor Heaton. Well, at least he took the ball, but now I see Connor is tying his shoe. He may have only taken the ball from him so he can tie his shoe. Well, let's wait and see. Wind picking up and blowing out again left to right. Yeah, he's going to give the ball back to him. Well, he takes it away. I guess he wants a new baseball for him. Again, the manager for Oxford is Marcus Wood. And Heaton will stay in the game. And with 1 out, Gavin Franklin will have a chance to add to this 2-0 lead. Runners on the corners. Davis at third, Bucher at first. For the number 6 hitter in the order. First pitch to Franklin. That's across the plate, but a little bit high. The runner's going to go to second. Bucher will get there without a throw. So both runners in scoring position with 1 out. In addition to our pitching rules, we also have the mercy rule in effect. We haven't had to worry about that in this tournament. It's 15 runs after 3, 10 runs after 4, as the next pitch misses for ball 2. And even if you looked at the score, Florida beat Oxford 11-0, but that game went 6 innings. Florida scored those runs late, a lot of those runs late. So we have not had a mercy rule so far in this tournament. Next pitch is popped up behind home plate, foul territory, and on the run, the catcher, Paul Lobb, will make the catch up against the fence. Nice play by Paul Lobb for the second out of the inning. Big out.
Number 2, Brody Black.
And with 2 outs, it sends up the right fielder, number 2, Brody Black. Back to your shout-outs. Go Loretto. Actually, that might be a different game there. As that pitch is taken low for ball one. Yes, that is for Tennessee. And I'll send that over to Jason Thompson. I can tell you for any game that's going to be played on this field, Field 1, the number will be the same, 352-258-8450. If it's on Field 2, it'll be a different number. Next pitch misses for ball 2, 2-0 the count. Brody Black ahead in the count, 2-0. Runners at second and third with 2 outs. The 2-0 pitch. Outside corner called strike, 2-1. Another shout out. Let's go Team Alabama from the Franklins. Thank you, guys. Heaton trying to work out of a jam. His 2-1 pitch. That's in the dirt for ball 3, 3-1. Max Hollingsworth, the first baseman, on deck. Alabama already up 2. We're in the top of the first. Game scheduled for 6. The 3-1 pitch. That's a strike as Black took a couple of steps towards first. Count now full. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The 3-2 pitch. That's in the dirt. Wild pitch. Here comes the runner. And the throw home is not in time. Meanwhile, Black's going to go to second. And Alabama takes a 3-0 lead. This is the 8th batter to come to the plate in the top of the first inning for Hueytown, Alabama. Baker Davis scoring that last run for Alabama. Ethan Booker now at third base. Brody Black at second. And the pitch to Max Hollingsworth is taken outside for ball 1. Well, because the games have kind of carried over into today, yesterday, all the umpires and the Dixie Youth officials were wearing pink. It was Pink Out Sunday for cancer awareness, but I've noticed that they're wearing pink again today. Of course, we should be aware of cancer every day, personally. I think that's what we should do. Obviously, a lot of causes you can support, but it just seems like everyone's affected in some way by cancer. 2-0 the count to Hollingsworth. And the 2-0 pitch. That one is taken outside for ball 3. The 3-0 pitch. That one is low and inside. Ball 4 gets away from the catcher. The run's coming home. The throw is not in time, and Alabama leads it 4-0. So another walk. A wild pitch brings home another run. And timeout call by Oxford, Alabama. Looks like this time it may be it for Connor Heaton. It is. We'll take a break as Connor is heading out to left field. Marcus Wood Jr. is making his way to the mound. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more baseball from the AAA World Series right after this timeout on JockJive.com.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with Pass behind the back for 2 on his.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving kick by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
We're all. All right, actually, the new pitcher is number 10, Jacob King. 23, Marcus Wood Jr. did come in, but then he went to right field. And the first pitch from Jacob King to Devin Ford is in there for strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch. Swung on, line drive, center field, base hit. That will get another run home. And Alabama leads it 5-0. RBI single for Devin Ford. Devin Ford at first base. Ford, by the way, the nephew of Carolina Panthers quarterback Joe Webb. Colton Hudgens, the 10th batter of the inning, steps in with 2 on and 2 outs. The first pitch is taken outside for ball 1. There have been 5 walks in the inning. Also a couple of hits. And 2 wild pitches that scored runs. The 1-0 pitch, that's another wild pitch. That will get the runners up a base. The throw, maybe. The throw to third. They're going to call him out at third base. Hollingsworth caught stealing. 2-5 for the third out of the inning. But a big inning for Alabama. They played 5 runs. And the state champions up 5 as we head to the bottom of the second here in Oxford, Alabama.
Just battle White Jones County. Diving catch at shortstop. Gross. Works the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Craft got it. Long throw. And he got it.
Mike Roundup back here in Oxford, Alabama as we head to the bottom of the first. Oxford, Alabama coming to the plate, down 5. Let's set the defense for Hueytown, Alabama. The pitcher, number 4, Gavin Franklin. He is a right-hander. Caleb Johnson behind the plate catching. Around the horn, left to right in the infield. Sam Vaughn at third base. Ethan Booker at short. Colton Hudgens at second. Max Hollingsworth is at first. Jonah Winston is in left field. Jay Fuller in center. And Brody Black in right field. Back to your shout-outs at 352-258-8450. This one says, go Gavin, Cousin Doug, rooting for you in Birmingham. Thank you, Doug. Jacob King set to lead things off for Oxford, Alabama.
Leading off for Oxford, number 10, Jacob King.
First pitch to the right-hander is taken high for ball one. 1-0 pitch. Popped up, right side. The first baseman is there, and the catch will be made by Hollingsworth for the first out of the inning. One out for the catcher, Paul Lobb. We were kind of talking about it before the game. He was listed as HC instead of your normal C that you see for a catcher. I've come to learn that apparently back in the 50s and the 60s, the position of catcher on a baseball team was referred to as a hind catcher because the catcher stood behind the batter. That was before my time, so I hadn't heard of hind catcher before. Paul Lobb quickly ahead in the count. 2 balls and no strikes. So you learn something new every day. 2-0 pitch. Makes the count now 2-1. Another shout out. Let's go Gavin Franklin. Uncle Jamal is watching. Thank you for that. The 2-1 pitch. Outside, ball 3, 3-1. Oxford, Alabama batting in the bottom of the first, trailing 5-0. Game scheduled for 6. Hueytown sent 9 to the plate. Actually, they had a 10th batter at the plate, but the runner was thrown out at third in the inning. That's outside for ball 4. 1 out base runner for Oxford. A battle of Alabama teams trying to stay alive here in Oxford, Alabama, and the Dixie Youth AAA World Series. Big cut by Jaden Dobbins, a swing and a miss. Strike 1. Dobbins, the starting second baseman. Another shout out. 3 up, 3 down, Hueytown from Walter Lynch. Well, didn't get that, but maybe they can get 4 up, 3 down. After a 1-out walk by Lobb. 1-1 pitch. Grounded to second. Hudgens will go to second for 1. The throwback to first not in time. 4-6 fielder's choice for the second out of the inning. 2 outs. That will send up Branson Whiteside, the shortstop. Once again, a reminder, tomorrow's schedule, we begin at 10 a.m. That pitch is taken for a ball. The 1-0 pitch. It's in the dirt. 2-0. That pitch caught a ball, and the count now 3-0. Another shout out. Go Gavin. Love you, Aunt Lois. 3 balls, no strikes to Branson Whiteside. The 2-out pitch. That's across the plate, in there for a strike, 3-1. The 3-1 delivery as Franklin works from the stretch is on the outside corner, called strike 2, full count. The 3-2 delivery. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. That's the first strikeout of the game for Gavin Franklin. That will do it for Oxford, Alabama in the bottom of the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, a walk, and 1 left on base. We've completed 1. It's Hueytown, Alabama 5, Oxford, Alabama nothing here on JockJive.com.
Frustrated. She's having with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. Two on his.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
All right, we head back to the top of the second now, Hueytown, Alabama. I doubt this is Bo Jackson sending this, but it does say Go Jay from Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson grew up in Bessemer, Alabama. Obviously, one heck of an athlete. Played football and baseball, excelled in both. Inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame in 1996. Colton Hudgens was at the plate when Max Hollingsworth was thrown out to end the first. So it's 10, 11, and 12 in the top of the second inning. Hueytown, Alabama up 5. Jacob King on the mound in relief of starter Connor Heaton. His next pitch came inside, and Hudgens fouls it off to even the count at 1-1. Obviously, I got a chance to see Bo Jackson play at Auburn. They retired as number 34 there. But I've seen him play live in person probably 3 times when Alabama would play Florida. There's a base hit into left field. Hudgens with a leadoff single. Fortunately for Oxford, that didn't come last inning when there were 2 on. Again, Max Hollingsworth was thrown out at third base to end the inning. But a leadoff runner for Hueytown, and that sends up Sam Vaughn, the third baseman. Here's our next shout out. Let's go, Caleb Johnson. We love you, from your dad and Ann. Thank you, guys. If you want to send a shout out, send it via text message, area code 352-258-8450. 352-258-8450. The first pitch across the plate in there for strike 1. King from the stretch, and his 0-1 pitch. That's up high to even the count at 1-1. Winner of this game will play the loser of the South Carolina-Arkansas winners bracket game, which is coming up next. Again, the loser will be eliminated. This is hit foul back to the screen, and the count now 1-2. The loser of the game on field 2 coming up later between North Carolina and Florida will play the loser of the Tennessee-Georgia game, which is currently underway. I'll try to get a score in between innings because they did start earlier than us. Wild pitch. Runner's going to go to second. The throw is not in time. It gets by, well, not far enough to advance. The shortstop got a piece of it, and they kept it in the infield. So Hudgens at second base with nobody out. Don't forget, when you send your shout-outs, let us know who you are. Someone sent a shout-out saying, go Gophers. That pitch is inside for a ball as it knocks Vaughn to the ground, and the count now full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Hueytown, Alabama looking to add to a 5-0 lead. We're in the second inning. The 3-2 pitch. That's up and in for ball 4. First and second with nobody out for the number 12 hitter, Ethan England. Top of the order on deck. We will bat 1 through 12, and then once everyone is batted 1 through 12, we'll go back to a 9-man rotation for the rest of the game. First pitch to England. It's taken outside for ball 1. England does a good job of kind of crowding the plate. He looks down at third. And now steps back in right side. The 1-0 pitch from King. Swing and a miss. Good pitch by Jacob King, and the count evens at 1-1. Alabama with 5 runs in the first. They've got 2 on with nobody out here in the second. Looking to add to a 5-0 lead. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a foul ball. That wind still just a gusting, blowing out left to right. England now behind in the count, 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Check swing, taken high. They checked the first. No, he did not go around. And the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch. Popped up, but out of play. Onto the press box here in front of us. Off to our right. Colton Hudgens at second base. Sam Vaughn at first for Hueytown, Alabama, with nobody out. Timeout called. Someone wants me to explain the mercy rule again. The mercy rule, as I stated, 15 runs after 3, 10 runs after 4. We'll wait for this play. Ground ball to third. They get the force at third base. 5 unassisted fielder's choice. But if a team has a 15-0 lead, or excuse me, a 15-run lead after 3 innings of play, they win the game. If they have a 10 or more lead after 4, the game would be over. So let's say, for example, Alabama scores 10 runs. They have a 10-run lead going into the bottom of the 4th, and Oxford, Alabama is not able to cut it to single digits. The game would end in the 4th, just as an example. So the mercy rule kind of put into place to keep teams, I guess, from being blown out. Jonah Winston, the batter. Runners at first and second, now 1 out. Winston grounded out to second his first at bat. And the next pitch. Kind of jammed him inside. A little pop-up over on the third base side. The pitcher fields it, but the throw by King will be late, not in time. That's an infield hit for Jonah Winston as he beats it out to load the bases. So, again, 15 runs after 3, 10 runs after 4, the mercy rule. But we haven't had one in this tournament so far. There's a shout-out that says, "Go Hueytown. Love you, Max," from Granddad. Jake Fuller, the batter, he walked and scored in the first. Infield now playing in. And the pitch to Fuller, the lefty. Hits it out into left field, but right to the left fielder. The catch is made. The runner's going to tag. And sliding in safely is Sam Vaughn to make it 6-0. Sac fly and an RBI for Jay Fuller. That's the second out of the inning. Here's a shout out to Sam Lee and the Bullard, Texas team. Win, win, win from Chris Vaughn.
Yes, we hear you.
The next pitch Caleb Johnson takes a strike. We got some defensive changes. We'll let you know about it next half inning. That ball hit to right field, but caught out in right field. The play made, I believe that is Marcus Wood Jr., who had moved over last inning. Actually, that might be T.J. Wilson back in right field again, making that catch for the third out of the inning. So that will do it for Hueytown, Alabama. They do get one run. And as we head to the bottom of the second, it's now Hueytown, Alabama 6, Oxford, Alabama nothing here on JockJive.com. Back for the bottom of the second and more of your shout-outs right after this.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. Her two on his.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Oxford, Alabama will send up batters 5, 6, and 7 against Gavin Franklin in the bottom of the second. Down 6 now, 6-0 our score. The defensive changes, number 36, Ethan England, is now catching. Number 8, Devin Ford, is playing right field. And number 17 has gone into third base. Baker Davis now playing third. Back to your shout-outs. Tim Tennyson, go Hueytown. Love you, Max. Number 9, Granddad. Also, great job, Jeremiah Fuller. Go Hueytown. Little heart emoji. Another shout-out. Way to go, Hueytown. Let's make sure you let us know who you are when you send the shout-out. 352-258-8450 is the number for the shout-outs. So it'll be a text message. Braxton Branham will lead it off as Franklin finishes up his warm-up tosses. 6-0, Hueytown, Alabama out in front. Game scheduled for 6, but again, the mercy rule in effect. 15 runs after 3, 10 runs after 4. So we still have a couple of innings to go before we would have to worry about that. Of course, Alabama would have to build a double-digit lead. Oxford, Alabama has something to say about that now as the first pitch is grounded foul, first base side. Still one more game to go on this field today. It will be a winner's bracket game between South Carolina and Arkansas. South Carolina defeated Louisiana 6-0. Arkansas defeated Virginia 10-2. There's a strike to Branham. 0-2 the count. Louisiana was able to bounce back. They eliminated Virginia earlier today, 9-5. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Second strikeout for Franklin. He's got 2 in a row going back to last inning. 1 out here in the second. That sends up Caleb Jenkins, the third baseman. First pitch. Swung on, grounded to third. Our new third baseman. Long throw, not in time. That'll be an infield hit. It was fielded cleanly by Baker Davis, but he had a long throw. And Jenkins beats it out. One out base runner for Oxford. Sends up Marcus Wood Jr. One out, one on. Here in the bottom of the second inning. First pitch from Franklin. Swung on and fouled over the netting. Out of play. We know one game is set for tomorrow. Louisiana will face Mississippi at 10 a.m. Swing and a miss at a high pitch out of the strike zone, and the count 0-2. The other game that will be at 10 a.m. tomorrow will be the winner of this game. This pitch is a wild pitch. The runner's going to get to second. The winner of this game will play the loser of our South Carolina-Arkansas game, which is coming up next. And that will be at 10 a.m. tomorrow. That is the current plan anyway. We'll see. This one's a little soft line drive to the shortstop. Booker makes the catch for out number 2. Again, we'll keep you updated on the JockJive Facebook page. And you can also download the Dixie Youth Baseball World Series app. Just go to the App Store and look for DYB WS. Two outs for Austin Ray, the first baseman. I like it. We already have starting lineups for the next game, for one of the teams anyway. That's a start. Ground ball to second. The throw to first will be in time. 4-3 put out, and the inning is over. No runs, a hit, no errors, and one runner left on base. We've completed 2. It remains Hueytown, Alabama 6, Oxford, Alabama nothing, here on JockJive.com.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. Her 2 on his set.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
We have a new first baseman. It's number 24, Braxton Branham. Jacob King is still on the mound. And now here comes the manager to make the change, 42. Actually, maybe he's saying 24. Yes, 24. And he's now indicated over at first base. So, new first baseman for Oxford, Alabama. We move to the top of the third. Score to pass along from the other AAA game, a winner's bracket game. Georgia leads Tennessee 4-2. They're in the 4th inning. And also a final score to report from the Majors World Series. South Carolina has eliminated Virginia in 4 innings, 18-4. They finally got a game in over there in the Majors. They were only in the first inning yesterday when their game got suspended because of rain. Baker Davis to lead it off for Hueytown. Batters 4, 5, and 6. First pitch inside, brushed him off the plate for ball 1. Davis walked and scored, part of a 5-run first inning for Hueytown, Alabama. The 1-0 delivery. Foul back to the screen, and that will even the count at 1-1. Alabama with 5 in the first, 1 in the second. Hueytown hoping to keep the pressure on and maybe even potentially end this game early. The 1-1 pitch. That one hitting. Those are the toughest to rub out, the ones on the backside where you can't reach. So Davis at first. May have knocked the wind out of him as his coach at first asking to put his hands in the air. And he'll stretch him out at first as well. Nice show of sportsmanship here as Jacob King, the pitcher, is going to walk over and shake hands with him. So Davis at first for Ethan Booker. Booker singled in 2 runs back in the first inning. Once again, the dimensions here at the ballpark, 225 all the way around, left to right. And that wind's been blowing out and left to right all day. King will work from the windup. And his first pitch is in there for strike 1. Back to your shout-outs at 352-258-8450. Keep it up, Baker and Team Alabama from Aunt Wendy. Thank you, Aunt Wendy. A 1 pitch is high for a ball, and the count evens at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out with a runner at first. Got to put my runner on first. There you go. And the 1-1 pitch. That's a wild pitch, and that will get the runner to second. Maybe. He went about halfway, and now they fire it down there. The throw, though, not in time. Well, good job there by Davis as he thought about maybe going back to first. That ball kind of ricochets off the backstop. There's not a lot of room back there, and I've noticed that the ball does a lot of times favor the catcher. So a wild pitch will put the runner at second with nobody out. Next pitch to Booker evens the count at 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and hit out of play left side. Over towards the Chick-fil-A tent. And a substitution for Oxford. Now playing third base, Desmond Whitson. The 2-2 pitch called strike 3 on the outside corner. Good pitch from Jacob King. That's the first strikeout for Oxford pitching. 1 out with a runner at second for Gavin Franklin. Franklin popped up to the catcher in foul territory. He's 0 for 1. First pitch. Outside, ball 1. Six teams winners in the AAA World Series on day 1. There's another wild pitch, but the runner will hold. Again, that ball, it goes back. He would have been out at third base. That ball, it favors the catcher at times, the way it ricochets. As it bounced right back to Paul Lobb. The 2-0 pitch. That's across the plate, but a little bit high for ball 3, 3-0. North Carolina, Florida, South Carolina, Arkansas, Tennessee, and Georgia were your winners on day one. The 3-0 pitch. That's high for ball 4. Hueytown with runners at first and second and one out.
Now batting number 2, Brody Black.
Brody Black, the batter. We also have a new right fielder. Now in right field is number 27, Jacob Ingram. Brody Black walked and scored in that 5-run first. Second baseman playing in. The whole infield playing in, not on the grass, but are playing in. That ball pops off the glove of the catcher. I believe that'll be scored a pass ball. It will advance the runners as Davis moves to third base. Franklin is now at second. Both runners in scoring position with one out. Another shout out. Great job, Baker from Beebe. The 1-0 pitch. Bouncing ball to first, but right between the legs of the first baseman into right field. The error will score 2 more runs, and Alabama with an 8-0 lead.
Now batting number 9, Max Hollingsworth.
That will send up Max Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth also walked in the first. There were 5 walks in the first. Hueytown took advantage of it, too, as this one's fouled back. Ethan Booker singled in 2 runs. Devin Ford had an RBI single. There were also 2 runs that scored on wild pitches. Alabama built a 5-0 lead, added 1 in the second to take a 6-0 lead, and now with 2 more here in the third, 8-0 our score. Next pitch, good pitch, breaking ball, but just missed for a ball. And the count evens at 1-1. Another shout out. Let's go Hueytown. Force a mercy rule. Well, we'll tell you that Oxford's going to get 2 more at bats. A little soft liner caught by the shortstop. No throw back to first. But that is the second out of the inning. 2 gone for Devin Ford.
Now batting number 8, Devin Ford.
Devin singled in a run back in the first inning. Runner at first with 2 outs. The pitch from King. Wild pitch. That's going to get the runner to second. Top of the order on deck. Hueytown, Alabama looking to add to an 8-0 lead. Runner in scoring position, but there are 2 outs. Next pitch. That gets underneath the glove of the catcher. That'll be, I believe, a pass ball. Throw to third is not in time. And Black down at third base. Two balls, no strikes with 2 outs. Top of the third, game scheduled for 6. Next pitch. That one hit over to second, but off the glove of the second baseman. That'll be another error, and that will get home the 9th run of the game for Hueytown, Alabama. Nine-0 Hueytown, Alabama here in the top of the third inning. And Colton Hudgens to the plate. Jonah Winston as we head back to the top of the order. Jonah Winston had an infield hit his last at bat. He's also grounded out 1 for 2 in the game. The 2-out pitch from Jacob King in there for strike 1. Top of the third, Hueytown, Alabama up 9. Looking to eliminate Oxford, Alabama. A 1 pitch. That one almost hit him as Winston hits the dirt. Count evens at 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. In there for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Jacob King to the plate as 1-2 pitch. That's a wild pitch in behind the batter. Runner goes to second. The throw is not in time. So Devin Ford now in scoring position with 2 outs. The 2-2 pitch to Jonah Winston. That one hit out into right field, base hit. They're going to wave home the run. And the throw to the plate on its way, but a little bit late. And Alabama now leads at 10-0. RBI single for Jonah Winston.
Now batting, number 20, Jay Fuller.
That sends up Jay Fuller, who had a sac fly and an RBI his last at bat. He's also walked and scored. Runner at first with 2 outs. Four runs here in the third inning for Hueytown, Alabama. And the pitch popped up left side. The shortstop is there. The catch will be made, and the inning is over. Hueytown, Alabama with a double-digit lead as we head to the bottom of the third here in Oxford, Alabama.
Just about all White Jones County. Diving catch is short. Gross. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Craps got it. Long throw over, and he got it.
Welcome back to Oxford, Alabama. Hueytown, Alabama with a 10-0 lead. We also have a new pitcher. It will be number 2, Brody Black.
Black is now pitching for Alabama.
So the book is closed on Gavin Franklin. He pitches 2 innings, allows no runs on 1 hit. That was an infield hit. He walked 1 and struck out 2. Folks, don't forget to like JockJive on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. We appreciate your help as we have reached 10,000 Facebook likes. That was our goal. And we've reached it here in the final World Series of the summer. Thank you so much. Don't forget, when you like us on Facebook, we keep you updated on scores, schedules, game status, and so much more. Also, after today's game is over, you can watch the action again and again on JockJive.com. Go to the same spot you watch the live coverage and watch the archives. Connor Heaton leading it off for Oxford against Brody Black, our new pitcher. This one says, next shout out, home run in from Walter Lynch. That one across the plate for a called strike. The count now 2-1. DVDs are also available, $10 per game plus shipping and handling. Just email info@jockjive.com. INFO, info@jockjive.com. That one bounces away inside for ball 3. 3-1 the count. Batters 9, 10, and 11 in the bottom of the third inning. Oxford, Alabama down double digits. And that one misses for ball 4. TJ Wilson to the plate. Black from the stretch. His first pitch is in there for strike 1. A 1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Black looking for his first strikeout, but he delivers high for ball 1. This is hit foul over to first. Remains 1-2. Currently 85 degrees here in Oxford. Chance of rain later today, but we may be okay for the games that are scheduled to be played today. That one gets away from the catcher, and that will send Heaton over to second base. Oxford looking for its first run of the game. They have a runner in scoring position for the second time. The 2-2 pitch to T.J. Wilson. Swung on and popped up into center field, but on the run, the center fielder Fuller will make the catch for out number 1. Good play by Fuller. He was shaded towards right and tracked that one down. Also number 4, Gavin Franklin over in right field. He was the pitcher who started the game. 1 out for Desmond Whitson. And he swings and misses on the first pitch inside for strike 1. 0-1. 10-0 Hueytown in the third. The 0-1 pitch. Popped up into left field. Base hit. And we'll put runners on the corners. Now the runner's coming home. The throw to the plate is not in time. And on the throw, Woodson will take second. So Oxford, Alabama, able to plate a run, cut it back to single digits.
Now batting, number 27, Jacob Ingram.
That sends up Jacob Ingram with the top of the order on deck. The 1-out pitch. That one's taken for ball 1. 10-1 now here in the third. The pitch from Black. Ingram takes it outside for ball 2. 2-0. Black from the stretch. His 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. 2-1. Fastball in there for strike 2. 2-2. Brody Black looking for his first strikeout. Gavin Franklin started the game, struck out 2. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And that's the second out of the inning.
Now batting,
That sends us to the top of the order, though. Jacob King will bat with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs. King popped up to first. His first at bat, he's 0 for 1. First pitch from Black is a wild pitch that will get the runner to third. Oxford, Alabama, looking for its second run as this one's popped up but out of play behind home plate. Evens the count at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on and hit off the foot of the pitcher. Picked up at second. The throw, though, gets by the first baseman. That will send the runner to second and also plates a run as Whitson will score to make it 10-2. That'll be scored officially, a base hit off the foot of Black. They'll go out there and check him out to make sure he's okay. An RBI for Jacob King, who then takes second on the throwing error. Two outs, but 2 runs in for Oxford, Alabama. They'll let Black take a warm-up toss. So Black appears to be okay. We'll give Oxford, Alabama credit, knowing that, this thing was headed to a mercy rule. They've been able to cut it back to single digits. Now, we still have to play at least 4, and it has to be a double-digit lead to reach the mercy rule, but now it puts the pressure back on Hueytown if they want to try to end it early to score in the top of the next inning. That one outside to Paul Lobb, the starting catcher, who walked in his first at bat. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. 10-2 our score. The next pitch. That's low and inside for a ball, 2-0. Another shout out. Let's go Team Alabama from the Bookers. The 2-0 pitch. Fastball in there for a strike. It's away from the catcher. Runner heading to third. The throw, not in time. Oxford hoping to plate another run. Oxford was shut out against Florida. 3 Florida pitchers combined on a no-hitter. The 2-1 pitch in there for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, ground ball to third. And the throw over to first will be in time. 5-3 put out to end the inning. But Oxford, Alabama, able to play 2 runs. And as we head to the 4th, it's now Hueytown, Alabama 10, Oxford, Alabama 2 here on JockJive.com.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. Hurts 2 on his.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. There's that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State.
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Well, Jacob King has gotten a new hat. Usually you see guys switch gloves, but not hats. That's a little uncommon. Maybe that's his pitching hat, yes. Our score 10-2, Hueytown, Alabama, as we head to the top of the fourth. Meanwhile, on field two, remember, Georgia had a 4-2 lead in the fourth. Tennessee now leads the game 9-4 in the fifth. That's a winner's bracket game between Tennessee and Georgia. Caleb Johnson will lead it off. 3, 4, and 5 due up for Hueytown. And the first pitch of the inning from Jacob King is outside for ball one. There's another shout out. Keep up the great work, Alabama, from Eddie, Randy, and George. Thank you, guys. If you want to send a shout out, send it via text message. Area code 352-258-8450. This one hit to third, but right past the third baseman. That'll be an error to start off this fourth inning. Third baseman didn't get all the way down and went right underneath him. Runner at first for Baker Davis. Again, the winner of this game, the loser will be eliminated, but the winner of this game will play tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. local time against the loser of the game coming up next on this field, a winner's bracket game between South Carolina and Arkansas. First pitch, a strike to Davis. King's next pitch outside, ball one. Davis has walked and been hit by a pitch. He has scored twice. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. He chased one up high, and he's frustrated with himself. And now the coach at third base being called to the plate, maybe to let his player know, hey, don't do that. Be smart. You can be frustrated and upset with yourself, but keep your composure. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Davis. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on, ground ball, right field, base hit. Runner rounding second and heading to third. The throw won't be made, and runners are on the corners for Hueytown with nobody out. Back to your shout-outs. Keep up the great work, Alabama. Hueytown is so proud of you from the Pickens. Thank you, guys. So with nobody out, Alabama back in business. 2 on for Ethan Booker, who singled in 2 runs back in the first. He struck out his last at bat. He's 1 for 2. Another shout-out. Bring home the big win, Alabama, from the Sanders family. Thank you, guys. First and third with nobody out. And the first pitch to Booker. That one's off the glove of the catcher. That'll be a pass ball. Here comes the run. The throw won't be made, and it's now 11-2. Runner at second for Booker. The 1-0 pitch. That's outside, ball 2, 2-0. Hueytown, Alabama, up 9. If they can find a way to plate another run and then hold Oxford, Alabama scoreless in the bottom of the fourth, they would win the game. But still a lot of baseball still to be played. The 2-0 pitch. A wild pitch. Runner will hold, though, at second. Count now 3-0. Gavin Franklin on deck. Jacob King from the stretch has 3-0 pitch to Ethan Booker. That's in there for a strike, 3-1. Well, Alabama has plated at least one run in every inning. 5 in the first, 1 in the second, 4 in the third, 1 so far here in the fourth. Next pitch in there for strike 2, full count. Don't forget, all of our broadcasts are archived. You can go back and watch them in their entirety. As the 3-2 pitch misses outside, ball 4. Just go to the same spot you watch the live coverage to get the archives. If you want a DVD, DVDs are $10 per game plus shipping and handling. Shipping and handling, just email info@jockjive.com. First and second with nobody out for Gavin Franklin, who walked and scored his last at bat. He's also popped up to the catcher in foul territory. 0 for 1 in the game. The first pitch. Well, he tried to bunt. He offered at it and missed it, but it does get by the catcher, and that's going to move up both runners. So strike 1 to Franklin. Runners at second and third with nobody out. One-0 pitch. Let's see. Got timeout called. Next pitch, swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes. And the 0-2 pitch. It's up high for a ball. And the count 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the next pitch from King. Foul back. Davis at third base. Booker at second. 1 run in. Alabama looking for a double-digit lead again. They lead it 11-2 here in the top of the 4th inning. Game scheduled for 6 unless we reach the mercy rule. It's 10 runs after 4. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on, ground ball to third. And they'll throw it to first. And it's dropped at first base. That'll be another error. 2 runs are going to score on the play. Alabama extends the lead. It's now 13-2. That should have been the first out of the inning, but we have a pinch hitter. It will be number 11, Colton Hudgens. He'll bat for Brody Black. First pitch taken for ball 1. So 3 runs have come home. They get the 2 back plus 1. 13-2, Hueytown, Alabama. That puts some pressure on Oxford, Alabama. They're going to have to score at least 2 runs in the bottom of the inning. This little soft pop-up over to first. Now it hits the ground, but picked up by the first baseman, and he will tag the bag. Austin Ray records the out. 3 unassisted, and will also move Franklin over to third. So 1 out for Max Hollingsworth. Actually, we're going to have another pinch hitter. It will be number 44, Sam Vaughn.
Now batting number 44, Sam Vaughn. And then 36 will hit after him. Okay.
And then we'll have another pinch hitter next. So Vaughn to bat with 1 out and a runner at third. Sam Vaughn walked and scored in the second inning. First pitch from Jacob King. He delivers a strike on the inside corner. That's his 75th pitch? 72nd. Okay, so he's approaching the limit. You can throw no more than 75, although you can start a batter and finish them if you start at 74. That one is a strike as well. Nothing into the count. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, so he can throw to one more batter. This will be the last batter for Jacob King. He does strike out Vaughn for the second out of the inning. 2 outs for Ethan England. England reached on a fielder's choice his first at bat. He's 0 for 1. Runner at third with 2 outs and the pitch. In there for strike 1. Alabama with 3 big runs here in the 4th inning with a chance to win this one early. As the next pitch misses outside for a ball, and the count evens at 1-1. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 4th, Oxford will send up the middle of the lineup, 3, 4, and 5. But they'll need 2 runs, at least 2 runs, to keep this game going. The 1-1 pitch is outside for ball 2. Again, the Mercy roll is 10 runs after 4, and Hueytown with an 11-run lead. Next pitch to Ethan England. That's outside for a ball. 3-1 the count. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. The 3-1 pitch. That's outside ball 4. That will put runners on the corners, and that will be it for Jacob King. All right, so they've made the announcement that Jacob King has reached his pitching limit. 79 total pitches today for Jacob King. Good job, young man. It's a lot of pitches thrown. And we'll take a break and tell you about the new pitcher right after this timeout here on JockJive.com.
He's frustrated. He's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. Hurts 2 on his head.
And that one is hit on the rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. There's that, the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State.
It's a really nice hit to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
The new pitcher is number 3, Jaden Dobbins. He will face the top of the order. Jonah Winston will bat with 2 outs and a runner at third base. 13-2, Hueytown, Alabama leads it. We're in the top of the 4th inning. And that one gets away. Here comes the runner from third, and another run will score. Sliding in safely is Gavin Franklin. That's the fourth run of the inning. England, who batted for Ford, will go to second. 14-2, Alabama. 1-0 pitch. Bunted on the first base side. It's going to be a tough play. The throw is late. That's a bunt single for Jonah Winston. Beautiful bunt on the first base side.
Now batting, number 20, Jay Fuller.
Runners on the corners for Jay Fuller. Fuller had a sac fly and an RBI in the second. He also walked and scored in the first. And he's popped up to the shortstop. 2 outs, 2 on. 12-run lead for Hueytown, Alabama. Dobbins from the stretch in his pitch. That one's lifted into left field. That's a base hit. Another run will score. And they have batted around here in the fourth inning. 15-2, Alabama.
Now batting, number 12, Caleb Johnson.
Caleb Johnson started the inning by grounding it to the third baseman, but it went between his legs at third, and an error started this carousel. First pitch in there for strike one. Five runs here in the fourth inning. Hueytown with 2 on and 2 outs. Next pitch. That's low for a ball. Count evens at 1-1. Well, Oxford, Alabama will need 4 runs in the bottom of the inning to keep it going. This is fouled off out of play. 1-2 the count. Looking at our first Mercy Rule game of this AAA World Series. The 1-2 pitch. That one is bounced over to second. The throw to first will be in time. 4-3 put out, and the inning is over. But a big inning for Alabama. State champions from Hueytown now leads it 15-2 as we head to what probably will be, or could be anyway, the final half inning of play. 15-2, Hueytown, Alabama leads Oxford, Alabama here in the Dixie Youth Baseball AAA World Series.
Just about all White Jones County. Diving catch at shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Crash got it. Long throw over, and he got it.
All right, we have a new pitcher to start the bottom of the fourth. Baker Davis will come in, number 17, as Brody Black pitches 1 inning, allows 2 runs on 2 hits. He walked 1 and struck out 1. So Baker Davis will face batters 3, 4, and 5, and a chance for Hueytown, Alabama to win it here in the bottom of the fourth inning unless Oxford can score 4 runs. 3 would not be enough. It would still be a 10-run game. The Mercy Rule is 15 runs after 3 or 10 runs after 4. And we are in the bottom of the fourth inning. So a chance for the state champions from Alabama to end this one early. Final score from the Majors World Series. Tennessee has eliminated Texas 13-0 in 5 innings. 13-0. Tennessee a winner in 5. So Tennessee will play South Carolina tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Jaden Dobbins will lead it off for Oxford, Alabama. He reached on a fielder's choice, his first at bat. Righty versus righty matchup, and the first pitch of the inning is a fastball strike. 0-1 the count. 15-2 Hueytown. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Another shout out. Come on, Baker, we're watching. McCullough. Another shout out. 3 up, 3 down. Hueytown from Walter Lynch. Thank you, Walter. That pitch taken outside for a ball. The 2-2 pitch. Foul back. Coming up next here on Field 1, a winner's bracket game between South Carolina and Arkansas. I'll have the call. The 2-2 pitch from Baker Davis. Inside corner, called strike 3. Boy, Dobbins thought the pitch was inside, almost got hit, but
Now batting number 13.
he's called out as it nipped the corner. And that's the first out of the inning. Hueytown 2 outs away from victory. Looking to stay alive here in the AAA World Series. The first pitch up high to Branson Whiteside. The 1-0 pitch. That one misses for a ball, 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. And the 2-0 pitch. Swung on, fouled back. Whiteside reached down, went down low and was able to make contact. Whiteside struck out his first and only at bat today. Two balls and a strike with 1 out. A 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. Folks, don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. When you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you get an email notification letting you know when the game is about to begin. We'll also keep you updated on the JockJive Facebook page with score schedules and so much more. If you haven't heard, game times for tomorrow, a 10 a.m. start as of now. So Hueytown, Alabama, scheduled to play tomorrow morning at 10 if they hold on to this 15-2 lead. Next pitch, inside corner, called strike 3. That's twice that Davis has caught the inside corner. Back-to-back strikeouts for the second out of the inning, and Oxford is down to its final out in this tournament. 2 outs for Braxton Branham. A 2-out pitch. Ground ball to second. Knocked down at second. The throw to first. Yes, he got him. 4-3 put out. Great play by Hudgens. And the ball game is over. Hueytown going to get the win by the final score of 15-2 in 4 innings. Great defensive play to end the game. And Oxford, Alabama has been eliminated. Hueytown will play tomorrow at 10 a.m. against the loser of our next game between South Carolina and Arkansas. So that's going to do it for our coverage in this one. Thanks for all the shout-outs. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, the final score in 4 innings. We'll get another shout-out here before we sign off. Awesome job, Baker. We are proud of you, Aunt Wendy. Final score once again, Hueytown, Alabama 15, Oxford, Alabama 2 in 4 innings. For all of us here at JockJive.com, I'm Mike Rideout saying so long, good afternoon, and God bless.